Hello everyone, massagebf.com. It is December 13th, 2015. This video is for my rideshare program that I have running through my business and my website. It's time for me to post an update because the video that I have on there currently is quite a bit outdated. So basically I'm just going to talk about my rideshare program. I just had another customer today. His car broke down last night when he went out drinking with a friend, and basically took him to the rental car place so that he can, because he needs the rental car while he waits for for his car to get fixed. But yeah, so first, let's talk about the car briefly, about my car. Just like I said in the last video, I do a really good job keeping the car well maintained, and that's true. In the past 2 years, I've invested right in the neighborhood of $13,000 to $15,000 just into maintenance, and $1,000 of that went into the sound system. And the reason why I can call that maintenance is because the volume rocker broke on the Bose, and you can't get the volume rocker fixed. You got to replace the stereo. So but yeah, recently, right now there's pictures on the site that shows the driver's seat leather has torn apart. I had that seat restored, so I'm going to be taking new pictures, and I'm going to be pulling the pictures that show the driver's seat all torn apart. That leather is kind of really mangled up. I'm going to take those pictures off the site, and I'll be putting some new pictures on there to show how nice my seat looks. But really, it's meant to show like most of the interior so that people have a general idea of what the car looks like on the inside. Because I'm very detail oriented, and I'm very organized, and I like to be as organized as I can, and provide enough information as I can. I figured I have the site, I might as well use it to its maximum potential, right? Another thing that I did was I had the striker replaced and the cable. And another thing that I recently did was I had the alternator replaced. The alternator replacement with parts and labor, that's $450 right there. That's like the lowest possible price. That's just because my mechanic he's really honest, really hardworking guy. And he's always busy, so he doesn't have to charge people an arm and a leg. He makes plenty of money. He's able to keep his customers. But yeah, those are the three things that I recently had replaced. And of course, the engine's taken care of. That's good to go for a while. I spoke about the engine in the last video. That's good to go. Has been for a while now. But yeah, so basically about my rideshare program. Basically, there's basically a $5 like minimum. So you can't have me pick you up and take you 3 miles down the road. I'm going to charge you $5 at minimum. I mean, you can have me do that, but I'm going to charge you $5 if I pick you up. It's $1 per mile. You get 15 minutes of wait time included. If you go over that 15 minutes and you have me waiting longer than that, then I'll just figure it out. But I'm very fair. I have I'm very reasonable on price and very affordable. But yeah, so that's pretty. We'll figure that out. $1 per mile. If I'm picking you up in a location that's within 30 minutes, then you don't have to do anything. I'll just come get you, and it's $1 per mile. From the time that I pick you up to the time that I drop you off, it's $1 per mile. if you're outside of the 30-minute driving time from wherever I am when I pick you up, then you're going to have to go onto my website, and I'll direct you to the link so that you can go onto my website. And my entire website is it's mobilized for smartphones, tablets, things like that. And of course, you can access it from your computer, laptop, whatever you have. But if you're outside of that 30-minute zone, then you're going to have to buy some miles from my online store, and you'll have to use your debit or credit card. And then in addition to that, you're going to be paying $2 per mile. And the reason for that is because you got to remember that I have to come back. I still have to come back to Denver. So if you're more than 30 minutes away, then that's a longer stretch, and so that's why it's going to be $2 per mile. So if I send you to my website, that just basically means that you need to pay for the miles. I'm going to tell you how many miles to pay for, and that's how many miles you're going to pay for. And you'll notice on my online store I have a 1 mile pack, 5 mile, 10, 20, 50, 100. So you can add in, let's say you're like 2 hours away, for example. Just randomly, I'm throwing that out there. You do get the first 30 minutes for free, so basically you're going to pay for an hour and a half worth of driving. But when I put in your pickup location in my Google Maps, I'm going to do the math, and I'm going to figure out, it'll take me like 50 seconds to figure it out exactly how many miles you're going to buy. But I'm going to subtract that first 30 minutes from it for you, and I'll just tell you how many miles to buy, and that's how I'm going to pick you up. And then from there to wherever I'm taking you, it's going to be $2 per mile. So just keep that in mind. You might want to consider getting a Lyft or an Uber because they might be closer. But obviously I shouldn't have to tell you. You should weigh your options, and you should figure out what your best option is on your own. That's your responsibility. I shouldn't have to tell you that. So, but if you're within 30 minutes drive, then it's $1 per mile, and my rates are very, very reasonable, and stuff like that. Here's something that you should know. I have a roof rack system and a storage pod. I got cargo space in my trunk. A lot of times I'll have a lot of crap in my back seat. Okay. If it's just you, then that's simple. I'll clear off the front seat for you, and you're good to go. One of the questions that I'm going to ask you every single time is, are you going to have cargo? Are you going to have bags? Sometimes I take people to the airport and they have bags. They have 1, 2, sometimes more than that. Sometimes they have a lot of luggage that they're bringing with them. That's one of the questions I'm going to ask you. Because if I need to clear off the back seat and move things around to make more room, then so be it. I would like to do that before I start heading in your direction and pick you up. I'm going to ask how many people. Is it just you? Do you have a friend? How many people? Stuff like that. So I'm going to be covering all the bases with that. And then of course I use Glimpse with all of my sessions. I'll be sending you a Glimpse so that you can, if you want, it's up to you. There's standard data charges. If you're using Glimpse, you can use it over Wi-Fi if you're connected to Wi-Fi somewhere. But if you're not connected to Wi-Fi, then obviously, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, but I'm just throwing it out there for those of you that are not so tech savvy. If you're using your mobile data, then when you use Glimpse, it's going to be using your mobile data. It's not going to use a whole lot of it, but it's going to use some of it. So just keep that in mind. But I will send you a Glimpse, so you can use that if you want to, and you can track me in real time. So that's fine. And if you have kids, I'm going to want to know. I'm going to want to have as much information, because more information that I have, the better. Or maybe you have pets. You might have a dog or a cat. I'm going to want to know all of that information. I'm not allergic to dogs or cats. I'm not allergic to animals. I'm very animal friendly, especially dogs. Unless your dog is like super aggressive, but if your dog is super aggressive, then chances are you're super aggressive, and that's why your dog is super aggressive. So as long as nobody's trying to kill me, nobody's trying to hurt me, then I'm super pet friendly, so that's not a problem. And then another thing too, that's really cool about the Glimpse GPS tracking is that if you need your kids to be dropped off or picked up and dropped off somewhere, I can configure Glimpse. I can keep it on for you. So let's say, for example, you're a parent or something like that, and let's say you want to stay home, but you need to get your kids somewhere, like school or the library or somebody else's house, for example. I can keep Glimpse running. And of course, nowadays, if you're 5 years old or older, chances are you have your own cell phone. So, but I can keep Glimpse open. Your kids probably have their own cell phone, but I can keep Glimpse running as long as I want it to. And it's just using my own data. But as far as I'm concerned, that's just kind of the cost of business. I use a lot of data anyway. But I can keep Glimpse running, and that way you can track your kids in real time. You can track me in real time because we're going to be in the same car. But that's one of the nice things about Glimpse is it provides. There's a lot of different applications for Glimpse. But I just wanted to make this video just to kind of explain my $1 rideshare a little bit better. And of course, I'm kind of a clean freak. I do a really good job keeping my car clean. There might be a couple of empty bottles or empty, styrofoam or, like cardboard cups on the floor in front of the passenger seat. But I just kind of put my trash down there, and whenever I go and get gas, I just take the trash out. But, I spray like Febreze, I make sure that the car smells good so it's not all stinking, I do a pretty good job keeping my car clean. I like once a week, I'll go to those self-serve car washes, and I got like a stash of quarters, in my car, and I'll go and I'll wash the outside of the car, and I'll vacuum the inside. I'll pull my rugs out, spray those down with a power washer, I do a really good job keeping my car clean. So, that's basically how my rideshare works. Forgive me, it's that time of the year. My sinuses are basically on their period. But yeah, thanks for watching massagebf.com, and once again, thanks to all of my customers. I appreciate all of you. My business wouldn't be possible without you. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye for now.